Welcome to Movie Rehash. Today, I am going to explain an action thriller movie released in 2020 titled The Last Days of American Crime. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Graham Brick is hurting a man to find his money. The man says the Dumois family will keep chasing him. He reveals that Graham's boy, Johnny D, told them about him. Graham leaves the man covered in gasoline with a lit cigar. The building explodes as he walks away. The world is full of crime, and the U.S. government introduces the American Peace Initiative API. It's a blocker for the brain that stops people from doing things they know are against the law. People try to escape to Canada, but many get hurt or killed. A year ago, Brick and his crew were top bank robbers. They could do what they wanted as long as they shared money with the Dumois crime family. Brick's brother Rory is getting ready to go to the prison, and Brick tells him to stay alive. 6 months later, the government tests the API device. While robbing a bank, Brick and his crew suddenly can't move. They somehow escape with the money, but one of them dies. Dumois' henchman Lonnie asks Brick for money, but Brick lies, keeping it to go to Canada. Brick learns Rory killed himself in prison. With Johnny D betraying him and Dumois getting his money, Brick has no options. He finds and kills Johnny D. Brick meets Shelby Dupree at a bar, and they have a quick encounter in the bathroom. Kevin Cash shows up looking for Brick. He was in prison with Rory and witnessed Rory's death caused by the API signal and prison guards, not the suicide story Brick heard. Kevin wants revenge and plans to steal $1 billion the government is buying back from criminals. This money will be useless once the API is activated. Shelby, who turns out to be Kevin's fiancée, joins them, and they share a plan to disrupt one API tower. Their goal is to complete a heist and reach Canada before the signal takes over. Brick is skeptical but eventually agrees, though he still doesn't fully trust them. Meanwhile, Officer William Sawyer is held at gunpoint in the precinct by two people looking for medicine, and he manages to get the gun and shoot one of them and is sent home. Brick takes charge of the job and needs specific items, including cone warheads capable of battling tanks. The only available source, aside from the U.S. Army, is the Dumois family. Brick discovers that Kevin is Dumois' son and presses him for the truth. Kevin confesses his desire to break free from his family's influence and make history by committing the last crime in America. At a club, Brick finds out that Shelby is a skilled hacker and learns from Kevin that the API signal is nearly impossible to overcome. Meanwhile, Sawyer, returning to the police station, requests to be back on duty. His supervisor agrees, and as many officers are leaving for new roles, those who stay will receive an implant preventing the API from affecting them, allowing the use of force against citizens. Sawyer applies for and eventually receives one of these implants. The next day, Brick reconnects with his old friend and driver, Ross, to bring him on board for the billion-dollar job. Brick then meets with a government official named Jack Morgan to finalize arrangements for the money exchange. Shelby contributes by creating counterfeit money to replace the real cash. Later, she meets with FBI agents. It's revealed that Shelby is an informant for the FBI because they have her younger sister in custody. In exchange for information on the heist, the agents promise to ensure her sister's safe passage to Canada. They make it clear that if Shelby doesn't cooperate, her sister will be harmed. Unbeknownst to Shelby, Brick has been following her and witnesses this tense interaction. Kevin drives Brick to the Dumois compound. After a thorough search, they gain access to a fancy party where Kevin and his sister guide Brick to Rossi Dumois, Kevin's father. Rossi had believed Kevin was dead. It's revealed that Rossi had tried to have Kevin killed after Kevin was involved with his second wife, whom Rossi later murdered. During a confrontation, Rossi shoots Kevin, but Kevin manages to throw a weapon that hits Rossi in the head, apparently killing him. Injured, Kevin leads Brick to a hidden cache of weapons, and they fight their way out of the office. They successfully retrieve the cone warheads and escape. On their way out, Kevin's sister turns hostile, and Kevin is forced to defend himself by killing her. Lonnie discovers Rossi's lifeless body and becomes furious. Brick confronts Shelby about her collaboration with the FBI and pulls out a gun, but before he can act, Lonnie intervenes and knocks him unconscious. Lonnie then ties Brick up and violently beats him, desperate to locate Kevin. Shelby steps in by revealing that she is Kevin's fiancée and offers herself as the means to reach him. Lonnie brings in the man whom Brick had tortured earlier, the one with the cigar, now disfigured but still alive after the explosion. This man resumes torturing Brick and eventually starts a fire, leaving Brick bound and at the mercy of the flames while Shelby watches in horror. Lonnie and the others drive away, leaving Brick seemingly doomed. Fortunately, Ross arrives just in time to rescue Brick before the camper explodes, narrowly saving him from a fiery fate. Ross drives Brick to follow Lonnie, who has Shelby hostage in the back seat, leading to an intense shootout and chase. Eventually, Brick's car flips, and after escaping, he steals another vehicle. Lonnie, in the meantime, ties up Shelby and injects her with drugs. He then starts to assault her, but Brick arrives just in time to stop him, strangling Lonnie and saving Shelby. Brick carries Shelby to safety. Later, Brick questions Shelby about her involvement with the FBI. She explains that they are after Kevin and that her sister is in danger if she doesn't cooperate. They share a moment and a kiss. Kevin joins them, and the team gathers to go over their plan. Shelby and Ross manage to steal a military truck, which Ross drives into the military compound. Inside, Shelby seeks out a man named Carl, with whom she had a prior connection. Carl is responsible for initiating the API signal. After reaching his office, Shelby subdues him. Simultaneously, Brick brings the money for the government exchange, aiming to obtain the real money. However, Morgan, the government official, discovers that the bills are counterfeit. As both are leaving, they start shooting. Brick and Kevin head toward the vault amid the chaos. Meanwhile, Shelby hacks into the computer system just as the API signal is launched, temporarily halting Kevin and Brick's efforts to blow open the vault. Shelby manages to disrupt the signal, allowing Kevin to complete setting the detonators. Ross reunites with them, and together they load up the truck with the stolen money and make their escape. Sawyer arrives and apprehends Shelby, demanding an explanation. The government successfully restarts the signal, stopping Ross and Brick, but not Kevin. In a shocking turn of events, Kevin shoots and kills Ross, leaving Brick horrified. Kevin then reveals a disturbing past, describing how he and Rory were forced to fight repeatedly in prison as part of the API testing. Kevin learned to overcome the API, ultimately leading to him killing Rory, securing his release. Kevin confesses to Brick that he no longer feels anything. He shoots Brick in the stomach and then in the side of the head. Kevin claims to be a superhero, and when Brick questions if he's bulletproof, FBI agents suddenly appear and shoot Kevin repeatedly until he succumbs to his injuries. The two FBI agents disclose their intention to kill Shelby to close the case, admitting they lied to her about her safety. Leaving Brick to bleed out, he decides to take a fatal pill he had acquired earlier. Unexpectedly, the pill ends the API effect, empowering Brick to shoot and kill the two agents. With the stolen money, he drives away. Simultaneously, Shelby tries to escape from Sawyer, resulting in a physical confrontation. Despite the API starting to affect her, she fights back. Frustrated, Sawyer becomes enraged and begins strangling her. Shelby manages to roll him onto a shard of glass, fatally injuring him. Before leaving, Shelby detonates and destroys the facility server. Brick arrives in the truck, and he and Shelby share a kiss as they drive through the first barricade before the Canadian border, evading gunfire from troops. As they approach the final border, they face more gunfire but manage to plow through. The following morning, as Brick fights to stay alive, Shelby expresses her love for him just before he passes away. She takes a bag filled with money and departs before the police arrive at the scene. Sometime later, Shelby, accompanied by her sister, scatters Rory's ashes into a lake. They drive off, embracing a life of freedom in Canada. In this way, movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more interesting movie recaps.